Namaskar, I am Geeta Paliwal, working as a librarian at Consortium for Education Communication, Delhi, India. The topic of my poster presentation is Trends in the Use of Electronic Grey Literature, a case study of ICSSR libraries in Delhi. Indian Council of Social Science Research ICSSR funded libraries in Delhi have an immense resources in the area of social sciences, and out of its total collection they have a good quantum of grey literature both in print and electronic formats. Grey literature refers to such type of literature which in nature never published or not published in a commercial or popular form. It is a type of information which is not noticed due to proper publication status or standards. Initially, ICSSR in Delhi are creating, organizing, managing and disseminating the grey literature only in print format, but after the emergence of information technology and its implementations by libraries, now the unpublished material is also available in digital form and made available to its user through proper repositories or websites. Grey literature has its own value in education and research. It contains valuable information which is very useful for researchers, planners and policymakers. The major objectives of the study are to identify the various types and formats of grey literature, to study the use of grey literature within the ICSSR libraries and examine their comparative usefulness, to find out the purpose of using grey literature and to find out problem faced by users to access the grey literature. Electronic grey literature in-house research outcomes like annual reports, academic progress reports, occasional paper, working paper, academic events and seminar reports, etc. Such research outcomes have greater importance to know about the history and the background of the institutions. It also visualizes the genesis and timelines of research and development work done in the past within the institution under consideration. Such reports are very useful for the researcher engaged within the institutions. Interest in using grey literature has moved from conventional form to the recent open access movement. Librarians and researchers begin to realize the enormous unexploited resources needs to be made widely available. Rather going to publish, many librarians and scholars working together to develop their own databases and institutional repositories to house their important data collections. The study shows that majority of users, that is almost 93% responders, have aware about the concept of grey literature. The survey shows the most useful grey literature in ICSSR libraries are research papers, lecture series, annual reports and working papers. The survey found most of the grey literature are very useful and more than 50% of users are using all kind of grey literature in ICSSR libraries for research work. Users in the interview also expressed their find problem in accessing grey literature due to poor bibliographical control, lack of accessibility and readability availability. The respondents suggested that the literacy program for awareness of grey literature would be beneficial for them to locate the required resources. The survey also find that resource sharing of grey literature between ICSSR institution can be useful for better research in social sciences. Nowadays most of the users prefer to use electronic grey literature, and libraries also able to provide the literature in e-format, because most of the libraries are now receiving the different grey literature in e-format and also digitizing the old collection. So, ICSSR and NASDOC in future can take initiative of establishing a network based acquisition system for better use of grey literature on demand based. Thank you so much.